Good morning. My name's Carrie, but my friends call me Care Bear. Welcome to my gaming den. If you'd like to become one of my kitty cubs, just press the subscription button down below and turn on the notes and let you know when I upload a new video. And if you'd like to help me defeat the YouTube algorithm god, you simply drop a like, a comment, and a possible share. It'll really help my channel grow, and I really appreciate it. Now, as my cutie cubs know, I decided to do some farming, get my characters all leveled up, because some of the enemies were really tough. And I have gotten them all leveled up, and I noticed a few things, both before and after I have had them leveled up to their highest level. And we will be discussing the pros and the cons of this game. Now, I've loved the Aveyond series, I do, but there are some minor flaws and some major flaws in this one, and I will be discussing them. Be discussing them at the end of this. Right now, we're about to go in and face the big boss if we can. So, let's get to it. We're at the Stronghold Temple, and we're about to go downstairs. That's weird. Did I not? Hold on. Not like that. Huh. Wrong way. No, that's the right way. Hold on. Apparently I need to go back to the... Wonderful. Wrong way. This way. I ain't worried about y'all, cause y'all are just wasting time right now. Really? You gonna waste my time? Alright. Y'all don't be annoying me. Where's the ice one? Yes. Nope, come on there. I did. I thought I did. If not. Okay, there it is. Okay, now I have the sword and stronghold key. Okay, let's see. Sword of might. Okay, sword of silence. Sword of dreams. And sword of shadows brings up the attack more. Yeah. Okay. So I got everything. Does her skill change with the sword? It does. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Hummingbird dance, wind veil, time twist. Okay. Dreambird song. Sweet surrender, night flight, fate twist. What a light. Kill. Starlight Rhapsody, glow fish dance melody of the sun. Interesting. What it would pay off. Shattered Ties, Broken Bridge, Song of Madness. Clip. And the Sword of Shadows goes up the highest amount and gives skill of Lure of Darkness, Night Bird Song, and Shadow Dance. Interesting. Very interesting. Not sure if I want to keep that one or not. While I'm down here. No, really had to start a fight, huh? Now that I got the stronghold key, I can go in here. And deal with this. Okay. So I'm going to save it over another area too. Thing here. Thing over here. Alright. Still. Oh, bird asleep. Good. Scale. Let's see what Agnes does. stop? Would you stop? I keep getting that on data. Okay, hold on. No. Would you please? No, of course you did. Of course. Of course. Of course. The fact that she actually survived, I'm surprised. Of course she did. You really have to do that, baby. Y'all stop hitting the same person. Oh my. Y'all just being annoying as frick. Right now. Of course. Of course. We will definitely be discussing this later. Nope, get away from me. Ah! Frickers, leave me alone. Oh! Oh! I really don't like y'all. I don't know which one would be. Why they have to miss? If they all did thermal storm do one thing, I might be able to survive at least most of it. Okay. Somehow I survived that one. Still. That's not gonna be good. See, you knew it. Okay, still. Item. Delete. Still. No, he's not going to survive. I am surprised she survived. Those two are corrected. Really? Of course you did. Of course you did. Yep. I knew it was coming. Hey, Dum Dum, come here. Come here. No! Son of a... I need to work on all of them. See, this don't ever tell me what they do. Okay. New item. I do not want to take any chances. Oh, of course. Oh, I need item. I need skill. Alright. So far seems to hurt, but I don't have anything like that. Item. Okay, it seems to me to do a little bit more damage. Okay. Of course he did. Well, definitely. Are you kidding me? Oh. Okay, let's try this again. Let's hope it's nothing major and something I can survive. Okay. Item. Let's see any item. Okay. Okay, item. steel. Let's put it on the shield. And item. Let's see if we don't go after it. Great. Okay. Leaf. Steel. Okay, steel. Steel. Item. Release. Steel. That I can live with. Still. Still. Okay. Leaving. Okay, now can I equip my stuff? Did I not get them? Okay, hold on. Did I not? Okay. Equip. Dissolve. Okay, and equip. Enough. What's a death? What's our show? Let's see. Equip. Okay, I can equip missile shield for her. Can I equip missile shield for can I equip it for Dissolve? Yes. And I equip it for her. She's got the least. Okay, we'll do that. Come on. Let's go. Leave me alone. Come on. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. See? Okay, hold on. Come on. Okay, hold on. But what does it give me in the skills? It doesn't give me any skills. So, I don't know why I would equip it. Yo, down here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Go cry about it to your mama. Okay, so I can go one of two ways. I can go two different ways. Okay, let's start with this side. First this one. Okay. That might work. Sometimes it is. Good. Put her to sleep. Skill. Lightning storm. Attack. Skill. His does good bit of damage with that. Skill. Result. Skill. Lightning storm. Skill. Skill. Okay. Let's see if she can put her to sleep again. Nope. Result. Okay. Lightning. Item. Elixir on him. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and use on him. I'm gonna use on that. Let's save. Off of, let's see what's up here. Crap. Let's see what's in here. Eesh. What is in here? Of course. Of course. Of course. Alright, let's go through and get whatever it is that he dropped. Oh, dang. Still, let me, I don't know. blood orb. Ooh. What does that do? Does it change the skills? Now, I want y'all to remember, I am at my highest level that I can get, with the highest hit points I can get, and the highest mana I can get right now. And I haven't even reached the big guy yet. Keep that in mind for when we fight him. There's nothing here. Are you telling me I went all that way because for nothing? Maybe she'll put her to sleep. Nope. Darn. Still. Item. Just tell myself. Still. Oh, of course she did. Now I gotta spend time bringing people back to life. Stuff. Thankfully, she can't hurt her as much. Yeah. Alright, what the hell? You need a lot of health potions and a lot of mana potions when you're going through this every time. No, I'm not kidding you. Alright, give me a sec. I've got to go get me some water real quick. There are a lot of these. Are you kidding me? Okay. Still. Hopefully she does not kill him with that move. The thing is, it doesn't cost anything for her to use that, because she has 0 mana. That was the other side of that. Okay. Which way though? That way or this way? Ay, vey. Nothing. I know. It doesn't work often, but when it does, it's helpful. Still. This attack. Still. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. Hopefully others get their stuff done before she uses it. Whatever. Out in the middle. Still. Gotta keep my health up. Nope, that didn't do much for them. Ah, of course. Okay. Look here to her. Not her. Her. Okay. As you can see, it's a pretty big area. Are you serious? Oh, stupid evil fairy. Oh. Still. Caution. Item. Let's try. I know it probably won't work, but just have to try. Holy smoke! Are you serious? There's no way. If y'all attack her and she survives, that'll be a miracle. Oh. Really? Just attack. Let's survive, let's survive, let's survive. Why? Ugh. Are you serious? Really? Good. Of course. Why would I use the cascade on him? That makes no sense. Hold on. Look at that. Okay. Skills. Not skills, item. Well, it's a good fairy at least. Okay. I might let me trade out party member Tujal for Damien because he has different shields, so maybe his shield magic will help in this case. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll just stick to Malice. Skill. Human. skill. Shield Astoria. Okay, because I think they use fire attacks and maybe having a fire shield helps. I'm not sure. We'll try it though. Ooh. Yes. Ooh. Really? Skill. Raise. Nice. Don't kill anyone. Okay. Whew. Okay, skill. Skill. Malice. Skill. And item. Well, wait, hold on. What's the skill? Killing the story of pointing on one ally. Killing cloud. Grinding on allies. Then Ultima, perform major healing on all allies. Okay, let's go with that. Ooh, nice. I somehow managed to save that. Okay. Okay, skill. Skill. Malice. Lightning. I think lightning won't strike on her. Skill. Healing. Not sure what kind of shield I need for her. I'm trying to think. Should I do a spirit shield? A dark shield? Alright, let's try a dark shield. See how that helps. Oh, that's electric. Okay. She's healing. So yes, let's use this. This, and skill for him. Spirit, shield, Astoria. Physical attack. Try spirit shield. Maybe that'll help. Boy, that was close. Skill. Oh, okay. Okay. chosen one, not I. I see it, Damon. You are the chosen one. I see it. You have the power of the sun, the power of the light. Use it on me. See that I tell the truth. I see. Damien learns Sun Fury. I see you, Airman. This is madness. You belong to me, Sunface. Do as I say. No. Now, Damien, you must take him now. Use your powers against him. Use what is deep inside. Make him weak so I can use the Sword of Shadows on him. Airman. Okay. Number song skill. Not sure what works best on him. Okay, skill. Not chill. gotta go through some. What is this? Slugs? Ha ha ha. Time to die. Are you ready, Rhen? No, but do I? Skip it. We have that. Once he sticks with things like that, item, elixir on her, skill, should be. Kidding me? I gotta stay alive. Again. I can. Doesn't do much. Are you I said we talk about stuff whenever we're done, and we're going to talk about some stuff. Okay. Okay, let's see. I already know what it says. Let's go. Too much talking. Let's go. That's good to go. Okay. Skill. Poison. Skill. And you know what? Let's go with shield and sword. Yeah, shield. Protects all. Let's see whether that'll help. Alrighty. Let's see. You know, if you're going to make it be this difficult, you have to constantly repeat it. And there are reasons why it's difficult, and I'll explain that at the end of the game. The least you could do is make it where you can skip the dialogue at some point instead of having to go through it all over again. Yes, I'm talking to you, Amaranth. Yes. Finally. I am free. I am free. Come on, everyone. Let's get out of here. This place is blasting. Okay. Alright. While I got you here, before we go anywhere else, we're going to go over the good and bad of this game. Okay? Let's start with the good. The graphics, they're old school, but they're really done well. Okay? Because the pixelation is layered enough so that it makes the trees actually look like a 3D tree. The colors are amazing. The layout is really, really beautiful. The characters are cute. I really like the characters. I think they're adorable. They have great music for battle time, for just walking around. The characters have their own type of personalities, which I like, and their own stories, which are funny. And these are some really great points. Okay. However, there were a few minor and major problems that I can see. Okay. One of the minor problems is, like, if you are farming for points. Like, I went to Dreamland, okay, where I farmed for points near the tier temple, because there were four enemies, and they always consistently gave you 6,500 points. So when I was leveling up all my characters, I went there. The only problem I could see there was that in that area, pretty much all the enemies dropped gems. Okay? Specifically, hold on, let me go down to it. Sapphires. But you can only hold 99. And when you're farming, you don't want to have to leave constantly to go sell them so you don't lose them. Occasionally, one would drop 430 coins. My issue is, if you're going to sit there and have them drop gems that you can sell, which don't sell it for as much as you might think, you might want to do that in smaller increments and give more money. Because the second thing I noticed is the potions. You have potions that cost 1,000 gold, which means you have to farm for gold. And if you're going to sit there and be in an area that you're farming for points and stuff, you should be able to get gold too, and not just be selling these items. You know, having to sell these items to get it. Okay? Because it didn't really do any good. Okay? Secondly, why... another small one that may not seem small to, may seem, you know, not really big deal to others, but to me, as someone who is a completionist, who likes to complete things, it irks me. Okay? You have side quests which are contingent on certain items that you have to find and use to get done. But here's the thing. When you make two different side quests contingent on the same item, you have to make a choice. And either way, you are leaving something where you can't do it. So you're not really getting to complete the game, and that frustrates me. Because I like to complete the game. I like to get all the side quests done before I complete the game. Because if you look at the journal, right here, I cannot do these two things. Why? Because the statue of Lionel, the Elf King, I had to either choose to bring it to the elf city, which I did not understand that's what you could do. Because they simply said, alright, do you really want to do this? You might want to save it for later. You know, you don't want to, you know. They didn't really make it as clear as you think they should have. Okay, so when you gave it to the squirrels to get the fire sticks, which by the way, honestly, were not worth it. Because I found like one crack in a wall that actually had anything behind it, and with some gems to sell. And that was not really worth it. And you only got 3 of them. Alright, if you're going to sit there and make where you have to make a choice between the two, at least make them both really worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? Get something really good out of both. But you didn't. And honestly, you shouldn't have even made it where you had to make a choice. Or Amaranth should have just sat there and made, okay, let's find a really big old log in the woods, and the squirrels can use that as a ram, you know. But they didn't. They made 2 different side quests contingent on the same item. So you don't get to finish your quest. Something gets left undone, and the kind of person I am, and many of us who are completionists, it will aggravate us to no end. Okay? Now, on to the bigger issues that I can see. Okay, y'all notice how easily I got killed? Okay? In Dreamland, if I did not kill off that group within the first turn with my characters, okay? And this okay, if they were at a lower level, my characters were at a lower level, I could understand this. They get killed in one hit. But here's the problem with that. My highest level is at 99. And yet they're still, and these are lower level guys compared to the ones that I just fought in there. Y'all saw that. Who are doing more damage in magic spells and physical attacks than I have at my highest level. That should not be. I'm sorry, but that should not be. Okay? Because if you get to your highest level that you can achieve, your defense ought to be so high that the lower level ones and even the higher level ones cannot kill you in just one hit. Or your health should be at a high enough level where if you get hit by a massive attack, one of their attacks that have more power, you're not going to just die on that hit. Because it should not be some one-hit wonder kind of spell where they have a spell or an attack that is higher than your very highest level that you have reached. You can't go any higher, yet you don't have enough hit points to survive it. That's not okay. That makes it that much harder. And don't get me wrong, I like a challenge, but when you do it that way, you're basically setting up the gamer to fail repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly, and constantly have to keep loading up and fighting again. And that takes away from the actual fun of the game, because it becomes frustrating and annoying. Okay? Now, because if you look at the... Alright, I'm going to go up here to party. And you can see the lowest one was Pirate John. At level 99, he had 1,000 HP. 1,000. And the physical attacks that they did with some enemies, because you have to do magic on those enemies. You basically make the physical attack users useless, because not only do they have a low HP and you have to constantly try and keep them alive, but their physical attacks do nothing. So they're basically rendered useless. Now also, another thing that I can see is a major flaw. Alright? If you look over here at right here, if you look at the max level amount of mana that you have for each character, it's ridiculously low, for her anyway. Okay? Because if you look at what she has right here, she has one that is 1,200, and you have to use those on the big boss guy. Okay? The only problem with that is she only has enough to cast that magic twice before she has to sit there and use a potion. Which does no good, really. Because when you sit there and you actually have to use a potion after every 2 turns, you're losing a major turn. Because you're constantly have to replenish, so you could do that attack just twice and then replenish again. So they should have either made the amount to summon these monsters much lower, so you could do it more times. Because these didn't do much. And even the smallest one is, the one below it is 1,000. Now you could use the other ones, but it's not likely they would do much damage. So you're still only getting, even with the one that's lower than that, 2 hits before you have to replenish your magic. Whereas if you look here at Lars, he has 3,200 points. But his magic, at the most one, costs 180. And you're not going to use that all the time. 180. He has way more points than he really needs. So basically, you're making your magic user not really worth it at times. Especially if you're going to be in a huge battle. You're making it very difficult to use your magic user. And that's not okay either. Because if you're going to have them use magic, and you're going to have them have to use a lot of magic during a big battle, you either need to reduce the amount that you use for the big demons that you have to summon, or big spells you gotta use, or you bring up the amount that they have, so they aren't having to do it every 2 turns. Because that can become very frustrating. And if you have a party of, you can only have 4 people in the party, okay? You literally have to bring up 4 people at a time to farm, and then it takes time because you got to farm the other characters. And even with him, the highest level of anyone who had any health was Tajal. And I really couldn't use her. Because though she has physical attacks, she only has 1 skill. And no magic, and I needed a magic user who could heal and other stuff during the big battle. And I couldn't use Part-John because he only had like 1,000 health. And all of them had such a low health. Even Tajal might have survived. But the fact is, the biggest attacks that he had, the strongest attack he had, was more than my own highest amount of HP, which was what caused me to die so often and have to repeat going through the process of doing the talking to the characters and all this other stuff just to get to the battle. It should not be that way. It really shouldn't. If you really should not have a character. Now I get having a character, you don't want it to be too easy, and I totally understand that. However, they should not have a attack that could do more damage than your highest level ever. Because once you reach that highest level, you should be able to at least have a chance of standing against them without constantly dying and having to repeat the process, because that makes it take longer. It makes it frustrating, and by the end of the fight and by the end of the game, because of that, the win is not enjoyable, because it's just like, whereas if you had a good fight where it's give and take on both sides for a good bit of time, you know, y'all fighting for a long time, and it's like you finally, you're like, yes, you know, finally, we fought for a long time, yeah, okay? But when you're constantly dying because of one hit from the attack, because again, the attack causes more damage than your highest level of hit points. By the time you actually somehow manage, by sheer dumb luck, to survive that and get through the battle, you're not happy about it. You're not. You're just, finally it's over. You know? There's no happiness in it because you didn't put in a strong fight against another enemy. Because you just had to keep reloading and reloading and reloading and reloading. And that was annoying. But other than that, the game itself is very beautifully done. Now, if Amaranth ever made a remake of this, and I'm trying to be as kind as possible on this, because this is probably, I do believe this is their first game. So naturally, it's going to be a little, a trial and error and figure out what's best to do and what's not best to do. And I don't think they did it purposely to be as hard as they did. I don't think they realized just how hard it would be, possibly, you know. But if, and this is a serious big if, okay, if they made this again, if they fix those things, like I said, the small ones and the big ones, the magic, the hit points, the side quests, and lowering down the price of things and making sure that if you do farm an area, you get more gold than you do items. Because unless they're useful items, like elixirs and things like that being dropped, it's not really worth it. Because you're just getting a bunch of stuff that you don't have time to go sell because you're too busy trying to get your characters leveled up. If they can fix that, I think they would have a seriously, even, it would be even better. And I would totally play it. But as of right now, I have no clue as to where I'm supposed to be going, so I'm just going to go to, I guess I need to go to either Aveyond and talk to them and put up the sword, and then possibly go to Tyus and see, what is going on there. You know what I'm saying? Because I am the princess of it, right? So I do need to go there. I hope y'all can hear me properly. Okay. So let's go up here. But yeah, those are the good and bad of it. Okay? Oop, wrong area. Over here. Really? Because if you notice with these bees, alright, with all these other enemies, once I got leveled up, they became easier to take on. Which is how it's supposed to be, because that's why you're getting levels up. But when you still have lower level creatures that are killing you with one hit in their magic at their highest level, your HP is either too low, which it is, your defense is too low, which it also was, and that's not conducive to a good and happy playthrough. Because when I started out on the game, I loved the game. I enjoyed it. I still love the game, to be honest. But by the end of it, I didn't like it because of the way it did do that, the way it behaved like that. And see what I mean by the trees looking like 3D, how they have the layered colors and pixelation, so they look more realistic. I really love that. To the toughest but stronghold destroyed with airmen. I'm stuck here for a while. Oh, sorry, dude. Sword thing, you have destroyed the demon. You must return to Sword Shadows. Spirit will watch over it again. Hopefully it will be forgotten forever. Now it's time to determine your fate. You have many important interests ahead of you. Which path will you take, Sword Singer? Will you become a queen? Return to your village, become a hermit like your father, or go back to Veldera? Meaningful life, Sword Singer. Can you believe we did it, Rhen? No, not really. What will we do now? I'm not sure. I might go back to the academy. What about you? I don't know. So many choices. You could return to Valdera, High Sword Singer, remember? I remember I was going to abolish slavery. Maybe you could help? Lars rolls his eyes. Stranger things have happened. You have hard decisions to make. I wish I could go with you, but my duty is here. Can you not come with me? I'm an immortal bound to the sun, my love, that changes over time. That would only hurt us in the end. I cannot bear to watch you grow old while I remain young. How sad. Oop! I did not mean to do that. If you decide not to return aside, so you can have my cabin in the wild woods, I will go in your place. I do not want to return to Times. Too many memories, although if I must return to Times the King, I will. So I got a choice. I can be a hermit in the woods. Okay. Well, let's save it here. And we'll go check out. We'll save it here, and what we'll do is we'll check out what each one looks like. I'm probably going to choose being queen simply because it's a duty that you know, I feel like she should take up. As much as she wants to be a sword singer and stuff. But first we'll go to the cabin in the woods and see what happens there. And, then we can go and back to the school and see what that does. Okay. Okay, that's highest. Okay, hold on. that one. Okay, here we go. Go to the cabin in the woods. See what happens then. And we'll save it before we do it. Okay. Meow. You really want to fight me right now? I will say another thing that kind of irks me is having more than one love interest. Because then you're having to you're forcing the player to have to choose between the love interests. I understand you're trying to give them a choice and stuff, and not force them. But to me, it's still irksome. Because I don't like having to choose between love interests and stuff like that. Shoot that. Down here. Okay, let's see what happens when I go here. Nothing. Maybe I gotta drop everyone off. Maybe I gotta go bring the other people home. Like the pirates and... Because I don't have Damien with me anymore, I don't think. I have to look at my... Nope, it shows him in the thing. Why? I don't know. I wonder where I gotta go to get a reaction. Maybe I gotta go to the school. Or maybe I have to go to Caius altogether. See right there? Damien couldn't even make a dent in that thing, and he's a low-level enemy. A seriously low-level enemy. And Damien couldn't even hurt it at his highest level with a physical attack. Seriously? Oh, now he can. Why did he only get one that last time then? See, it's inconsistent. Sometimes you'll get a physical attack, and other times it's just one, and other times... It's like, come on, be consistent. Okay. Let's go to the school. See what's that about. Yeah, I know I'm running a little over. See, so who hit him and only got 1 point? And that's a low-level spider. That is one of the lowest level ones. And yet, still, at our max level, one of them hit it and only got 1 point. How do you manage that? That's inconsistent. I don't like it. Let's go back to the school. Let's go talk to do kickers and stuff. Swords power magical swords enable a sword singer to wield double amounts of power. Each sword of power contains sword knowledge. When the sword singer equips the sword of power, the knowledge passes to the sword singer. When the sword is unequipped, this knowledge is lost. Sword of power are rare, and the skill to create them was lost millennia ago. If you find one, count yourself lucky. If orbs affect the power of the sorcerer's spells, if the sorcerer has a fire enchanted orb equipped, the sorcerer's fire spells become more powerful. Of course, if a sorcerer passes the wrong spell through an orb, the power of the spell will actually decrease. For example, if a sorcerer has a fire orb equipped, and the sorcerer casts a fire spell with an enemy, on an enemy, the spell wouldn't do an extra damage, but if the sorcerer has a fire orb equipped and the sorcerer casts a water spell, on an enemy, the spell will do little or no damage. If you want to use an orb, you must attach it to the orb staff. Where can I find an orb staff? Okay. Okay. Might have to go to Tice to make that decision first. Alright, let's go on the other side and find my room. Maybe, me going to my room will do something. Oh, wrong room. I think it's this way. Yeah. Nope, I just sleep. Nothing changed. So I guess I gotta go to Tice itself and make a decision there. So they're forcing my hand to go there. Well, it's understandable to a certain extent. You have to decide. I mean, that is the biggest decision ever. So we'll go to Tice before we talk to anyone and make a decision. We'll save it. So that way we can see what each one looks like when we do it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but that completion to me is really going to be art for like a long time to come on this one. I do not like leaving anything incompleted. See, someone did 1 damage. What the heck? Who did the 1 damage? Okay, so apparently we have to go to Tice because that's clearly the only way we can do it. Because I went to the other 2 places and it didn't do me any good. So let's go down here. Alright. Let's go here to Tice. Really? See, how is she only doing... Oh, I think I know. I think I understand why she's only doing 1 damage. Oops, sorry. Quit. Because she doesn't have a sword. I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute, why is someone only doing 1 damage? That is just... I'm like... That does not seem right to me. Okay, now let's see what she does this time. Why they're having so much trouble, I don't know. See, that's better. See how their damage went down when they went up in levels? See, that's what should happen whenever you were playing the higher up ones as well. Their damage should have gone down to where it couldn't kill you in the first hit. Okay. Alright, let's go inside here. Now before we do anything, we're going to save it before we make any decisions. Where's our home? We're almost there. Back to the queen. Alright, hold on. What am I supposed to do then? Alright, should I talk to my dad again? Or maybe I need to just bring the other characters home. Starting with Valdez. Belt or whatever it's called. Alright, let's go there and see then. Because apparently I'm doing something I don't like. I know about you. Okay. Right here. Let's go up here. Oh, we may be. I got something to do. Really? Her house was up here. Maybe if I take her to her house, that'll trigger something. Husband, it's good to see you again. Welcome home, wife. Man, husband, it's good to see you again. Wife, have you found this brother? Yes, meet Pirate John. He looks scruffy. Okay. Got a nice bedroom. Gonna need another bed for Pirate John, though. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I've beat the game, and it says you have a choice. Maybe I gotta talk to my dad a second time. Well, that seems a bit annoying. So I gotta go back to Aveyond. To that temple. I'm guessing, and talk to my dad. And then make the decision from there, I guess. Because it doesn't let me go to the places where you should be able to make that decision, at least I think. I think you should be able to go to the places and sit there and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and say bye to your friends. Or something, you know? And it shows you, like, later on what you were doing later on in life. Like, you're still a hermit, or you're a queen doing queenly things, you know. Or you're at the school of magic, getting rid of slavery. But then as a queen, you might be able to get rid of it too. Alright. Well, let's try it a different way. Let's go up here. Okay. Go up here. Save it and talk to Dad again. And see if that, we have to make the decision from there. Okay, so let's save it. Alright. I don't get it. Okay. So, let's save it, and then we'll do each one and see what happens. Okay. Become a hermit. So yes, become a hermit. Yes, I do not want to be the queen of anything. I am sorry, Desmond, but you will make a better ruler than me. Now I shall leave my cabin for you in the wild woods. I hope the hermit life suits you. Talia, it's nice seeing you again. You are going back to the dream world. Yes, Devin. Watch over my dreams for you, as you wish, my dear friend. Who decisions I shall not persuade you otherwise. Okay. Thank you for the adventure, Planner. Good job, girl. You can be my shipmate any day. You are warrior at heart, girl. You may find many husbands. My duty to you is complete. Good luck, girl. So, okay, I think I can go now to the, areas that I need to. I just had to talk to the Oracle. We'll just load it up from where we leave off after we see the ending for it. And I get to keep a dragon. Let's see what what each ending looks like. Because they ought to be interesting to see. I do like the fact that they do a certain extent, like, give you a choice on how you decide it's going to end your adventure. So let's go here. Let's see what it does. Okay. And so the story ends. Rhen lived out her quiet, uneventful life tucked away in the wildwoods. The world passed her by, yet she was happy for this. The end. Okay. Wait. Clear water. Yes. Okay. When I say again, you are going back to Clearwater. But you love me, I was willing to leave this all behind for you. Wait, weren't you the one saying earlier that we can't do that? Go down here because it's easier to get to Grunwich and just grab a ride to Clearwater. Really? Okay, now we can go up here. Alright. Go this way, and we go to Clearwater. Okay, we move. Danny, when you come home, and I'm never going to leave again. In fact, let's get married. And so the story ends. Rhen stayed in her village and married Danny. Life was simple and uneventful, and Rhen was happy. The end. Go back to Belter. Yes, do not want to be the queen of anything. I'm sorry, Devin, but I will. Kelly, it was nice seeing you again. Good 7. In my heart, for the sun will heal our loss and then we can life. Yep. Okay, so now we go to it. And see. Oh, so I have Lars to me now. So since I chose to I chose to go back to Caldera. I have Lars with me instead of just me being by myself. So then we go down here. Okay, and we will go to Caldera. Now, even though she didn't have her sword equipped, that's another thing that's going to hurt me. She was at level 99. Her strength should be high enough to do more than one damage to these creatures. Since they're the lowest creatures there are. So explain to me how, even without a sword, she's only doing 1 damage with her level being at max level and her strength being higher than that. It should have been doing more damage, even with no weapon. Okay, let's go. Wrong way. Went too far. Alright, let's go. Joining the Academy of Teachers, we wish to help others improve their skills. With your experience, our students are sure to receive the best training. Well prepared new positions and instructors. And so the story ends. Rhen and Lars taught at Shadwood Academy for several years. After a short time, they were raised to High Sword Singer and High Sorcerer. During the time, Rhen worked tirelessly to have slavery abolished throughout the Eastern Empire. Many slaves returned to their own homes. Some remained to start new lives. And a few realized their own magical gifts and enrolled at Shadwood Academy to study sword singing or sorcery. Rhen did not marry Lars. Or maybe she did. Which is become queen. You will return the task to become queen. Yes, I do not want to, but I suppose I must. Why is the sister child? If only Damien could come with me. The fate are cruel. Sun priest, would you like to be removed from your deeds so you can escort the young queen back to Caius? You would let me do such a thing? But who would take my place? The stone-faced blue-eyed one that followed the dreamer here. I would do it in an instant. But Damien, you will not be immortal anymore. It's okay, dear one. I would give it up for you. Devon will take my place. I never thought. Yes, yes, I will. Devon, now I have to boss you around forever. You go, Talia. Devon laughed and then winked at Talia. What have I got myself into? Nothing that you do not deserve. Then it is done. Good luck, Queen. Are you ready to meet your destiny? With you, yes. Let us go. Can you believe it? We did it, Rhen. Academy. May you find a meaningful life, sword singer. Let me talk to Dad real quick. Your mother would be proud. It's odd being immoral. I do not know if I will ever get used to it. But you should not complain. We shall always be friends now. Yes, I never dreamed that I would exist like this for you. If only Grandma could see us now, she would choke up a kidney. So would my dear sister Lydia. You two did not get along so well, I recall. Lydia? Lydia? Oh, I know that name. I know that name well. Alright, let's go back to Tash, y'all. This is the final one. We have Damien by our side. And we will sit there and go and become queen. And we shall see what happens. Alright, let's go find Kaya. Alright. That is an interesting hairdo. See, in this area too, you get a lot of sapphires and not as much gold. So it makes farming kind of hard. Okay. This way. This way. This way. Wait a minute. Can I go in here and get married to Damien? Nope, apparently not. Oh, you suck. Sorry. I couldn't resist trying. Okay. Outlanders, you're back. Have you news the outside world? There was a great earthquake recently. No demons terrorized us for an entire week. Emerald, it said, he and seems to bother you no longer. The god and gods have saved us. Yes, there's more. I'm Alicia Pendragon's daughter. I'm the princess everyone has been waiting for. Ha! If I had a gold penny for every young maiden who said that phrase. If you're the princess here, show me your Pendragon Sigma. Rhen shows the clone sword for Pendragon Sigma. This was my mother's ring. I believe you have been waiting for me. The princess hair. What's your name, your majesty? Rhen. Just Rhen. Chancellor, ring the bell. Our princess has come home. Sound like a phone. I'm sorry, that sounded like a phone ringing. Princess shall prepare for your coronation. It would be best if you get some rest. You can use the master bedroom if you desire. Wait a minute. I'm not ready for any of this. Your Highness, I do not understand. It's okay, Rhen. I will be there. We can do this together. So you will be fine. Oh, we must find a husband for you. I know at least 5 princes who would die to me. This is a nightmare. I do not want to marry Prince. I want to marry him. Rhen points at Damien. She blushes furiously. You want to marry me? Yes. Me too. I want to marry you. Then it's settled. We will have a royal wedding and coronation. Oh no, the two of you are not allowed to see each other the day before the wedding. Sir, you must come with me. Do not worry, Rhen. I will be okay. You had best go and get some sleep. I will see you tomorrow. So this is the one ending that you get to see stuff happening. Okay. I'm good with that. Ooh, look at my bed. Check my room out, y'all. I'm like, whoa. And I got plants and everything. And I even got a sitting area over here. Look at this. Look at it. A sitting area. And I can read books and just relax and whatnot. Alright. Okay. Milady, you must get dressed before you go downstairs. Look at the beautiful wedding gown the seamstress made you. You should put it on. Ooh, look how pretty she looks. My little Rhen's getting married. Rhen hurries downstairs, castles, and a flurry of activity. Today we gather to see 2 mortals come together under the sun as one. Rhen Pendragon, will you take Damien Morvay to be your husband and king? A. And Damien Morvay, will you take Rhen Pendragon to be your wife and queen? A. Then I pronounce you join under the family Pendragon. Wait, citizens, wait. We're not finished yet. On to the coronation. Do you swear to protect the citizens and kingdom of Tyus? I do. Then I pronounce you queen of Tyus. Do you swear to protect the citizens and kingdom of Tyus? I do. Then I pronounce you king of Tyus. Citizens, I bestow upon you the king and queen of Tyus. And so the story ends. The land prospered as a new golden age began. Ties recovered in both the kingdoms and isles returned to peace and prosperity. The rule of the Rhen the Great and Damien the Noble found its way into the history books and later into legend. The end. Okay, I really would have liked to seen a little bit more on the physical, like this, like how they showed them at the end and what they were doing. On the other ones too, to see what her life would have been like maybe she's out hunting for skins or something as a hermit, or she's in a classroom teaching other students and stuff, and with the other one, you know, show her maybe working in the bakery with Danny and having kids running around or something. That would have been nice to have. But I do love this part. It's very interesting. I got to see, you know, see that, and I like that. I like that she got to get married. She got to have her